usher them into enlightenment. So bilhuda wa deen al-haq. And here's the word deen again being used. So every prophet was sent with huda and deen al-haq. What is haq? What is the main problem in the world today, in the average society? The main problem in the world today, in the average society, is human rights. The average society is overwhelmed with problems that relate to human rights. And haq doesn't only mean the truth, which is the opposite of falsehood, but haq means reality, real, true, practical, something that you and I can see, something that you and I can understand, something that you and I can measure, something that you and I can ascertain, something that you and I can really assess. Haq is also all about rights. When divine guidance comes, it comes to give back the rights to the people from whom it was taken. And it came to take away the rights of the people that were confiscated by their rulers and special classes in society. That's what divine guidance came to do. You can have no place for divine guidance in society if you cannot bring back the rights and the entitlements to people. And you name whichever environment you want to investigate and to look at, and you will see the rights of people are taken away, left, right, and center. Their entitlements are taken away. And when you do that, you erode their humanity. Study the norms of the average society. Study the values of the average society. Study the main currents in the average society, and you will see they run counter to divine principles. Because divine principles that the prophets brought were based on al-haq. And the verse continues, لِيُظْهِرَهُ عَلَى الدِّينِ كُلِّ. This was an assurance. Let's go over this, because this involves you and me. This involves you and me. And I've told you before, Muslims and people of religion, they've become passive, pat and insulate. They just go to their masjids and to their churches and to their various religious places, and they're hardly proactive in what they listen. Much less when they go out of the doors to take the intelligence and put it in their lives. And I need you to please, when you get time, sit down and analyze this verse. هُوَ الَّذِي أَرْسَلَ رَسُولَهُ بِالْهُدَى وَدِينِ الْحَقِّ. It is He, Allah, who sent His messenger with the guidance, to say the least. وَدِينِ الْحَقِّ. And that divine social order that has a dynamic relationship to truth, that is repugnant to falsehood, that is relative to the rights of people in society. Not only people in society, when you and I deal with the truth, then we become cognizant of what? The rights of the environment upon us. The rights of all the other animals upon us. It is now that you have more and more people in society and groups in society talking about animal rights. But if you follow the average Muslim, as far as they're concerned, animals have no rights. You can slaughter as many cows as you feel, many camels as you feel, many goats as you feel, and sheep as you feel, especially on certain occasions, because you feel the more blood comes out, God is happier. And this is an interpretation that is not established in the Qur'an. Rights are missing in the average Muslim community. Rights, human rights. And if human rights are missing, you could imagine animal rights. You could imagine the rights of the trees, the rights of the rivers, the rights of the land, the rights of the air. Little did we know that the Qur'an came to enshrine this and emphasize this. And that's a big issue in our world. We are our biggest enemy because we are destroying and turning our backs on the things that are synonymous with our growth, with our enhancement. And this clearly shows you that the Qur'an has been sitting on shelves and sit on shelves until now, and people read them like blind animals. Because here is what the Qur'an tells you and me. هُوَ الَّذِي أَرْسَلَ رَسُولَهُ بِالْهُدَى. It is He, Allah, who sent His messenger with guidance. If Allah sent the messenger with guidance and you and I accept the messenger, what should be happening to us? We should be people moving away from darkness. We should be a people who are moving away from darkness because the messenger did not live in darkness. The messenger did not subscribe to darkness. Are you and I activists in our lives? Activists. Activists in our lives. Are you and I activists in the lives of our family? Are you and I seen as activists in the lives of our friends? Or are we playing games with people in society? Are we shirking our responsibilities? This was not the Prophet Muhammad, whom we think we love and we claim we love. And we want to beat up the whole world because they don't love him as we should love, as we love him. So the Qur'an says, هُوَ الَّذِي أَرْسَلَ رَسُولَهُ بِالْهُدَى وَدِينِ الْحَقِّ. This divine social order of Allah is one that you and I and all humans can measure. Let's understand that. That divine social order of Allah is one that anybody with sense can measure. If you and I are telling the other people of the world that we are following the deen al-haq, then our life is the picture. Are we moving from the darkness on a daily basis to enlightenment? Are we moving from ignorance to understanding? Are we moving from being a farce in our own life to being true? Are we moving from being a liability to becoming an asset? Are we moving from just being numbers in society to becoming people of substance? Are we moving from an environment where we had shackles and chains to an environment where we become the masters, driving the engines of our life? This is the responsibility of Al-Haq. Because when you and I deal with Al-Haq, you and I would have the ability to do the litmus test. We can check ourselves out. We can see where we are heading every day. We can see between last week and now if we made any progress. Because Al-Haq has nothing to do with magic. Al-Haq has nothing to do with some kind of talisman. Al-Haq has everything to do with reality. And we are told that there are different social orders in society. The Qur'an tells us that there are different social orders in human society. And all of us who are students of life will know that. There are different social orders. There are different movements in society. And all of these movements want to dominate, want to take control, want to influence. They want to marginalize everybody else. They want to stay on the horizon. It is in your interest and my interest to